Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing my December bullet journal theme. I can't believe it's already coming to December, the end of the year, and we're going to be doing our last journal with me video for 2023. I've had so much fun doing these videos every month this year, and I look forward to doing it all again with you in 2024. Look out in the next couple of weeks for my full bullet journal flip through tour video, which should be coming in the last week or so of December, where we're going to flip through every single page of my 2023 bullet journal and chit chat about it and just look through all of the cool spreads that we've made this year. So for December, I've done a little bit of poking around on Pinterest, and I am going to show you what I've found so far and what my current ideas are. I did ask for theme ideas on TikTok. A lot of them I have either done before or are a little bit similar to things that I've done in the past, and I want to do something really new. So we're going to go on over to Pinterest and see what we can find on there. Okay, so we have my Pinterest pulled up. This is my little Pinterest board that I made of ideas for this bullet journal spread. I was just kind of going through and pinning anything that was a little bit inspiring to me, and I feel like I kind of have a theme here, but the question that I have that I'm not sure about is how I'm going to illustrate it, because a lot of these things that I've pinned are photos. They're not illustrations, so I am going to see if I can figure out a way to adapt them to a simple and easily recreatable illustration style. We're gonna go through and take a look at some of these cute things. The first thing that I pinned was this ad that I saw. This is for Hendrix gin, and I just love the style of this advertisement. This is really like not my normal style, but I just love this. I feel like it's such a cute illustration, and I love the combination of like collage with drawing. And I saw this font. I really like this font. I think I want to use this for December because I feel like this is like classic, but also a little bit vintage, but also a little bit modern. Like, I really like the combinations here. I don't know if I said this before. I know I said this in my TikTok, but I am interested in doing something holiday or Christmas adjacent. I celebrate Christmas, but I also am interested in doing something that's very like generic holiday, or something that can be applied to like lots of different ways to celebrate the holiday season. So a lot of these pictures that you'll see are pictures of fun dinner table spreads. That is always one of my favorite things about the holiday season, is like sitting down with family or friends and eating a fun dinner together. And I love these tablescapes. Like, a lot of these are super like, I don't know, messy and have a bunch of like little knickknacks in them and stuff like that. I really like this one. It has all of these different like drinks, colors of liquids and stuff. Lots of cool glassware. This one is super retro kind of mod with these like color blocky shapes. I love this one. This one looks like it's from like an old cookbook or something, and I love that with all these like interesting sweet treats. This one I think is an ad also. I love all of these old Jello foods that are in here. Those are always so fun. Some of the other things that I pinned are illustration style inspiration. Like, this one is very similar to my illustration style, where it has a lot of line art and simple color blocking. I like this one. That's a very limited color palette. This is just like a light orange and a red. This one is cool. It's like a, I don't know if this would be a Riso print, but something like that. Yeah, I also saw these two pictures from this makeup artist who did these like snowflake and little bow makeup looks. I've seen these all the time. I feel like I see this every year around the holiday season. These like Christmas tree hairstyles from like the 60s, and I love them, and I feel like it'd be such a cute thing to illustrate for Christmas time. So I really like the idea of doing that, maybe combined with something like this, like little bows on the face or something like that, especially because I feel like bows are so in right now. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the past 2 years I have done a limited color palette for Christmas. Last year I just did, it was like green, orange, and red, and the year before that it was green, red, and blue. I love all of these things. I feel like I might just have to start sketching and then decide later. But that was my little Pinterest board. So with that said, I think I am just going to get into my journal and do a little sketching. I think I'm gonna try and do the dinner table thing and just sketch and see where my brain goes with that. And then if I can't get that to work, we may have to pivot. I'm just gonna try. Okay, I think I figured out what I'm gonna do. It only took like 2 hours for me to do the sketch. So I'm gonna chat you through what I did and I'll show you. I initially did a sketch of that dinner table scene that I was talking about, and honestly, it just didn't translate very well onto the page. It wasn't looking like what I wanted it to look like. So I decided, instead of trying like really hard to make that work, I decided to just pivot and try something else. So I ended up going with the Christmas tree hair thing that I was talking about. And I do want to credit, I have seen this on Pinterest for years, but the first time I'd ever seen anyone execute it like in real life was Emily Riboflavin. You've probably seen her on TikTok or on Instagram. I'll put a picture of her version of the Christmas tree hair. She did it so well. And so I decided I wanted to try and do an illustration of that. So I'll show you what I did first. So this is in my other sketchbook. I had initially tried to do this layout where it was the text kind of going on a diagonal and then having two different faces with the Christmas tree hair. And I would probably like decorate them differently. When I started sketching it on the actual page though, it didn't translate very well either, so I pivoted again to doing this kind of layout where it was just one big face with the Christmas tree hair and the text on the side, and that is what I ended up illustrating here, and I really like how it came out. Christmas tree hair in this picture is inspired by that one that we looked at on Pinterest, and I was kind of doing these like front curls and stuff inspired by the Barbie illustration that I did. I kind of want it to have that same texture. And then for the face, I also want to credit one of my inspirations for this style of drawing, which is ALB in Wonderland. If you don't know who she is, ALB is an artist, and I actually found out about her first on YouTube because she actually makes ASMR content, but she's also an artist, and she does a lot of really cool like mid-century modern illustration style, and I've always loved the way that she's illustrated, especially people. So I was kind of looking at her portfolio while I was drawing that just to kind of, you know, do a little bit different than I would usually draw something. So I like the way that turned out, and then I added the text on the side. I wrote, "By golly, it's December." I wanted to do some sort of like fun little quote above it as well, and I mixed these two typefaces together. So this is the one that we pinned on Pinterest, the red text. And then I kind of made this one up. I kind of followed one that I saw on Pinterest, and I just wanted like a little script thing, and I'm gonna do the like dot of the exclamation point, and the eye is gonna be these little stars. So what I'm trying to figure out now is color. I had the crazy idea to do the entire background of this image in red, which is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I feel like it would be cool because at least the picture that I was looking at as inspiration for the Christmas tree, it's not very colorful. Like the background is the color of her hair, and then like the little baubles, like Christmas ornaments that are on it are red, but I could change them to being green or something. So I don't know. Oh, I feel like it would look so good if I did the background as red. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and do it and then see. I would probably do that with paint pen. Let's just see. I'm gonna maybe do the line art and then we'll see. So I started out using my Micron fine liner pens to do the line art here. And something that I wanted to point out that I'm doing here that I don't always do when I do line art is the way that I have been varying the line weight. I don't know where I first learned about the concept of line weight, but it's just that the idea that whenever you're drawing a line, you're not keeping it the same thickness throughout the entire thing. I feel like that always helps to bring, especially if you're drawing a person, a lot more like life to their expression. Like they look so much more alive and dynamic than they would if the line art was the same width throughout. So I really employed that when I was drawing this divider page, and I just love how the line art turned out. The hair looks very similar to the Barbie hair that I was talking about before. If you have seen my Barbie journal with me video, that really like curly hair, I just love it. Drawing this little Christmas tree hairstyle was a little bit of a struggle for me because I usually struggle translating things that are very detailed in real life into illustration the way that hair is, but I think the thing that really pushed it over the top was adding in this hair texture, like these little strands of hair here. I was kind of intimidated and wasn't sure if I wanted to do that because I knew it would be really busy, but I really think that helped to tie it all together and make it really clear that it was hair and not just like a tree hat on her head, you know? Okay, hey guys. I look different because I had to go to work earlier and I just got home. Well, I got home like an hour ago. It's 10:30 now, and I am gonna keep working on my journal. I'm like not tired right now. Usually I won't work if I like have a later shift, but I really like am not tired, and like this always happens where I'll finally like get into like a good energized groove and I'm like excited about what I'm making, and that's obviously like when I have to get up to go to work or like if I have plans with a friend or something. So the whole time I was at work I was just thinking about how I wanted to come back and work on this. So I have a lot of energy right now that I'm going to channel. I don't think I chatted a lot about what I was doing, so I'm going to do a little quick walkthrough of what my thoughts are for the color palette for this piece. And I'll show you, because I don't think I did a good shot of what the line art looks like. Okay, so here she is. This is my finished line art. I am obsessed with this. This is like, like seriously, this is one of my favorite things I've ever drawn. It looks so freaking cute. It looks like a little bit different than the picture, like the inspiration picture that I was looking at, but I really like how it turned out. I feel like the line art is so expressive. I really did like various line weights here, so to try and make it like have more dimension and just be more interesting to look at. So I do think I'm gonna go in and do the whole background in red. I feel like that's gonna be perfect for this really retro thing, and I'm going to leave all of the text here in white. I'm gonna try my best to like go around the outside with my red paint pen, but if it's like a little bit messy, I can always go in and clean it up with a white paint pen or a white gel pen on top just to clean up the lines and make them a little bit more crisp. But for the character, I like the idea of this being very simple color palette to make it almost look like it was like a printed thing. So I think I might leave some parts white, maybe this collar. I was thinking about leaving her skin white, but I don't know if I want it to be like a completely white thing, so I'm gonna see how it looks with the red background first and then decide. And I want to do this garland on the tree in gold, so I'm gonna use my gold gel pen to fill in that, and then the hair is gonna be like dark brown or black. I think it's gonna be like this like dark gray charcoal color that I have so that you can still see the line art, but it is going to be really dark. Red lip. I think these little baubles are going to be green to add to the Christmas tree look, since it's not going to be green hair. When I've seen these Christmas tree hairdos done before, sometimes they've been with green, like a green wig, but I've also seen it done on like to match the color of the woman's hair. And yeah, I might do this like little shirt to match the green baubles in the hair. So I started out using my POSCA brand paint pens, and I knew I needed to be really careful around the edges of my illustration because I didn't want to disrupt the liner at all. So I actually used 2 different sizes of the paint pens to help with that. So I used a really thin edge to go, or a thin tip to go around the edge of the illustration, and then I used like my thicker one to fill in all of the space. I really like how it worked. Also, I will mention that if you struggle with having your pages warp when you use like really thick inks or paints on your journal page, I usually use binder clips, like you can see in the corner of this frame, to hold the page like as flat as possible. It's going to warp no matter what. It like always will, at least a little bit. So I just like to have that on there just to keep the page flat while I'm working, and it usually will help to like, I don't know, make it stay more flat even when you take it off. I used my Sakura Gelly Roll pens for that metallic gold and the silver that you'll see me using. And I filled in the hair with my Tombow Dual Brush pens. I really wish that I had used a lighter gray, but I accidentally didn't, and it's okay. I still like how it looks. I had this idea for these little Christmas ornaments in her hair where I wanted it to be a metallic green, but I didn't have a metallic green gel pen. So I thought that if I did a layer of silver gel pen and then I went over top of it with a marker, that it would give the same effect. It did not work. I tried this with multiple different types of markers that I had on hand. You'll see me like trying out a bunch of different like darker shades and lighter shades, and I used a couple different brands of markers, and none of them worked. It was looking gross. So I just went over the top of almost all of them with another paint pen. So I just used a green POSCA paint pen, went beautifully right over the top, and I really like how it looks like this anyway. And I think that the metallic green wouldn't have even looked as good as this looks. So we got there in the end, even though it took me like a long time to figure out. It's 12:35, so I've been working on this for 2 hours, and I think I'm gonna chill for tonight. I really like how it looks right now. There is one thing that I'm not sure about yet, but I think I'm gonna leave it overnight so I don't do something that I might regret, but I'll show you. So this is the current state. The one thing that I am not sure about, I want to outline this text in black, but I don't know for sure yet, so I'm gonna leave it tomorrow morning. I'm gonna look at it and see if I change my mind. I really like it. It's so cute. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. So the next morning when I woke up, I just started working on some of these little headers. I used the same POSCA paint pens to fill in the backgrounds of these and used my gel pens for the lettering. They are really simple, but I feel like they really pack a punch because the metallic of the gel pens really stands out and looks super shiny and reflective and beautiful against that like opaque back color. Hey everyone, good morning. I have been just working on my journal the past couple of hours this morning. I have just been doing my little headers on my calendar, my moments page, and my habit tracker. I think I only showed a little bit of one of them because it's kind of repetitive and boring, but I'll show you what I did. And I think I've made a decision about the divider page, about the text that I said I was gonna do. So I'll show you that before I get into doing my little illustration page for fun, which is the last thing I'm gonna do. So here's my little calendar header. I ended up doing these like backgrounds with solid colors. I did green and red, and then I used my gold and silver gel pens to fill in some little stars and the letters, and I really like how it works. It's like super festive to me. And then here's the one that I did for the moments page. This one I also included a little script font also, and then this one I thought it'd be fun to do like a little funky layout of the letters, so habits and goals. So now I'm going to work on my little illustration page. For my divider, I think what I'm going to do is just fill in just the script text with either gold or silver. I haven't decided yet. I ended up doing gold, as you'll see here, and I definitely think this was the right choice. It really made the word December stand out while also highlighting that little script text, so I think that was a good choice. Here is the sketch of my illustration page that I did. It's a very similar continuation of the illustration that I did on the divider page, but I really like how this one turned out too. I basically just drew the same girl in a different position with a little bit of different bangs, hairstyle, shape. But since a lot of this is going to be very repetitive to what I showed earlier, I thought we could just do a little chit chat about the holiday time. And yeah, because I always like to do that in these videos, just to chat about what's relevant in my life and yours. I'm really excited for the holidays this year. You guys probably know by now, I'm a big Halloween girl. Halloween is my favorite holiday, but I do really love the winter holiday season as well. As I said before, my family celebrates Christmas, but I hope that whatever you do to celebrate the holidays, that it's super fun and you get to see the people that you love and hopefully have a little bit of relaxing time. I wanted to talk about the quote that I used on this page. It says, "Feeling so glittery," and that is a reference to one of my absolute favorite Christmas songs, Glittery by Kacey Musgraves. My true favorite Christmas song is Christmas Tree Farm by Taylor Swift. That song goes unbelievably hard. Honestly, probably one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs, like in my top 15 probably. Out of all Taylor Swift songs, the song is so good. Anyway, but I think my second favorite Christmas song ever is Glittery by Kacey Musgraves. That song is so beautiful. And it's just like different than a lot of other Christmas songs. It like is romantic and quiet. Kacey has a whole Christmas EP and a lot of her Christmas songs are great. They're like very different than I feel like the traditional Christmas songs you hear on the radio. I do have a little Christmas playlist that has all of my favorite Christmas songs on it. I will link it in the description box if you want to give it a listen or check out some new Christmas songs. Maybe there's some on there that you haven't heard before. But yeah, I am so excited for the holiday season, and doing these illustrations really got me ready. Hey guys, so I finished my journal for the month. I really like how it turned out, and I'm gonna show you the final spreads now. First of all, this is like, my desk is always a mess after I finish doing some journal spreads because there's just like stuff everywhere and on the ground and you know, whatever. But I'm gonna show you my spreads. Here is my finished divider page. So I did end up doing that gold lettering on here. Love the way that it turned out. This whole page is really shiny if you move it in the light. This is like one of my favorite illustrations I've ever done. Here is my final calendar and illustration page. I wanted to leave this one so you can see the texture of the hair curls just because I love the way it turned out, and the color that I used on this page is a little bit dark, so it kind of washes out that beautiful line art, so I wanted to leave it on here. I feel like this really reminds me of like the old Dr. Seuss books, specifically the Grinch book, because it's all like black and white line art with just like some pops of orange and green. There's my little calendar header and my goals and my moments page, and that's it. So thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while we made my bullet journal for December 2023. And also just a shout out to anyone who has been watching my journal with me videos all year for each month in 2023. I really appreciate you being here and engaging with my videos. I've really loved it and enjoyed it. Can't wait to do it all again in 2024. I hope everyone has a really safe and happy and healthy holiday season. And if you want to see more from me in the meantime, definitely follow me over on Instagram and TikTok, where I post a lot more frequently. I post a lot about bullet journaling and also about other stuff, my personal life, other artistic endeavors. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye. Pretty blue jeans and me running